Wolfgang Van Halen recently addressed David Lee Roth's comments about the band's final studio album, A Different Kind of Truth. Roth, who reunited with the band for the 2012 release after decades apart, candidly suggested that the album didn't feel like a true Van Halen record. In response, Wolfgang, who played bass on the album, expressed respect for Roth's opinion, but defended the album as a genuine reflection of the band's energy and spirit at the time. Roth's comments, made in a 2024 interview, noted that while the album had its moments, it didn't quite capture the essence of the band he originally helped shape in the late 70s. He pointed to the album's mix of old demos and newer material as evidence of a disconnect between the band's past and present sound. However, Wolfgang Van Halen disagreed, saying, "For me, A Different Kind of Truth was as Van Halen as anything we've ever done." He pointed out that the album, while featuring reworked versions of his father Eddie Van Halen's early demos, still embodied the energy and chemistry of the classic lineup with Roth. "We had this incredible chemistry with Dave, and the material we wrote together felt right," he said. "It wasn't just about playing old riffs. A Different Kind of Truth is still very much a product of the band we were at that moment in time." Wolfgang acknowledged that the album's unique mix of old and new material might have led to confusion or misunderstanding for some fans, but he emphasized that the band was focused on staying true to their roots while embracing the opportunity to create something new. "We take these foundational ideas and breathe new life into them," he explained. Despite the differing views on the album, Wolfgang remains proud of A Different Kind of Truth as a testament to Van Halen's enduring legacy. He reflected on the bittersweet nature of the album, noting that while it marked the end of the band's final studio chapter with Roth, it also felt like they were just getting started. "We were firing on all cylinders," he said, "but you know, life happens." The album received a mix of praise and criticism upon its release in 2012, with some fans embracing its raw energy and others feeling that it didn't live up to the band's earlier records. Wolfgang expressed hope that, in time, fans would appreciate it for what it was, an album that came from a genuine place of passion and creative energy. In conclusion, Wolfgang made it clear that despite differences of opinion, A Different Kind of Truth would always hold a special place in his heart as a significant chapter in the band's history. "It represents that raw Van Halen spirit," he said, "and I just hope people remember it as a record that came from a real place." As the years pass, it seems the debate over A Different Kind of Truth will continue, but for Wolfgang Van Halen, the album stands as a proud and authentic part of the Van Halen legacy. To add more context, A Different Kind of Truth was released on February 7, 2012 by Interscope Records. It was Van Halen's first full-length album of studio material with lead singer David Lee Roth since 1984. The album was recorded at Henson Recording Studios and Eddie Van Halen's own 5150 Studios and produced by John Shanks. 7 of the album's 13 songs are musically reworked and lyrically rewritten songs that had been demoed in the late 1970s and early 1980s, but never officially released. The album received positive reviews upon release, with several writers referring to it as a return to form, and multiple publications ranked it as one of the best albums of 2012. It was also a commercial success, debuting at number 2 on the Billboard 200, and by the end of 2012, had sold in excess of 411,000 copies in the United States alone. Wolfgang Van Halen's enthusiasm and initiative were crucial in driving the creation of A Different Kind of Truth. The group had reactivated in 2006 with Wolfgang on bass and David Lee Roth back as singer, and toured the following year. Eddie Van Halen was initially reticent about making a new album due to the lukewarm response to 1998's Van Halen III and the indifference toward the new studio tracks recorded for 2004's The Best of Both Worlds compilation. However, Wolfgang's idea to go back to the demo vault for songs and update them with the current lineup proved to be a successful strategy. The album took nearly 2 years to complete, but was ultimately a fun and rewarding experience for the band. In summary, A Different Kind of Truth stands as a significant and authentic part of Van Halen's legacy, reflecting both the band's roots and their ability to innovate and create new music. Despite differing opinions, The album remains a proud chapter in the band's history, embodying the raw energy and spirit that defined Van Halen.